Hi, this is Amaury. I am the certified senior real estate specialist, and I am licensed to do real estate in the state of New York. But our focus point is here on Long Island to the five boroughs. So we do real estate from Manhattan to Montauk. And I am the senior real estate specialist for List2Sell. And we are as my other half will say, a boutique real estate company that we are able to offer this personal service to all our clientele. And this is the day where you get to meet my other half in business, Carol. And this is going to be more of us really opening up to you, letting you know who we are, why is it that we do what we do, and also sharing quite a bit of information with regards to real estate. And this is going to be the start of a series where we're really going to jump into the weeds about every aspect of the real estate transaction. But today, it's just about you getting to know me and Carol on a more personal level. And Carol,
Hi, how are you?
welcome.
Hi, thanks. So I'm Carol Rodriguez. I am the broker at List2Sell Realty, and Amaury and I have joined forces so that we can not only go out and serve the communities out in Long Island and the five boroughs, but also to protect. So on that note, who am I and what is it that I do? I was a former real estate attorney of 30 years, did strictly real estate law. I loved it. My heart was always in it. I was born to be an advocate, a protector. It was my calling. During COVID, I realized that I liked being with people. I needed the personal touch, and unfortunately, that was lost. Everything was done electronically. I was no longer visiting with our clients. So what happened was Amaury approached me and said, "Hey, Carol, listen, why don't we make a difference? For years, we've known each other. We've worked well. He was in the finance industry. I was in the real estate law area." And he said, "We've done well." He says, "Why don't we break out? You're tired." He says, "But don't give up." He says, "Let's start doing real estate. Let's get out there. Let's meet the people. Let's get on the ground and let's make a difference. Let's be different." And that's exactly what we did. And I can't thank him enough because, it was the best thing I could have done. We brought back the people connection. We brought back the happiness of what we do, seeing the joy that we can bring, and more importantly, being able to structure things properly because of who we are so that people are fully protected. I don't know if you've had an opportunity on the podcast to let them know a little bit about yourself.
No, but I appreciate you giving me the opportunity. So I was thinking about this. So I first got, and I don't know if you knew this, I first got my real estate license in 1993.
No, I didn't know you quite that.
Yes. No, but so that's when I first got my real estate license. And at that point, I was working at a real estate office in Woodside, Queens. And it was a great office, very busy. Back then, I guess prior to the internet and MLS, we had a coal book where all the local property owners were listed. And that's how we actually went out and canvass with regards to getting listings and so forth. And now fast forward, I went into the lending world, into the finance aspect of real estate, did it for a long time. And I would say, Carl, between you and I think we did the math earlier. I think between the both of us, we've closed over 13,000 transactions.
Almost definitely, yeah.
Right? In real estate. So just to give you an idea of the landscape and the experience that we have, on my note again, I probably have read in the 3 decades of real estate finance, probably over 1,000 appraisals, easy, which is why I'm very good at, not that I like to
Boast?
boast, but one of my strong suits, I'll say that, is that I'm very good at pricing properties correctly so they will sell. That's why we came up with the name List2Sell instead of, other names that are out there. So that's me in a nutshell. I do love the interaction. The one thing I got to say, Kyle, that I really love about what we do is that we can do so many other things, and we have done other things. We've prayed with clients at the kitchen table.
Yeah.
We've dealt with so many different circumstances. And the fact that we are so humbled that you let us into your home and that you are open and you open up as to the situation that you're in. And we've faced quite a bit. And just the fact that you entrust us in helping you navigate through that situation, whatever it may be, is something that we do not take for granted. And we appreciate that tremendously. So thank you. And so I want to just, again, get to know more about us and what we do. So I know you said, okay, let's do the real estate.
You said it.
I said it.
I
right.
said you're nuts.
Right.
And then I thank you.
Right.
So
what made you say, at this stage of your career, because you're talking about real estate law for almost 3 decades, that's a long time.
Yeah.
So what made you say, I'm going to do it?
I realized that in the role as attorney, I was putting on a lot of pressure on myself because I was working the role of everyone. So I found that a lot of transactions were just being, throw it on the wall, let's see if it sticks. And I'd get them into the office and, I'm like a dog with a bone. I don't give up. So you bring me any type of transaction, I'm going to make it work. And I was doing that. But having lost the personal touch of the human being and seeing their reaction as things were happening, it was a lot. And I started to lose faith in what I was doing. Was I really helping? Was I making a difference? And at that point, when I decided, you know what, let's go out there. Let me be out there. Let me help people. Let me protect people from the beginning. Let me structure transactions, structure financing in a way that people are getting the best that they can get and using my expertise. We have properties. I have a house now, a buyer fell in love with it. We're not in contract as of yet because I've realized there's a vacate order and there's a permit that's open. Now, I could walk this deal and say, here, let's keep looking at other houses, or I could really make this a win-win. So I went out and I tracked down my expediter. I got everything in order. I sent out a formalized email with everything that needs to get done. Seller is super thankful. The listing agent is even more thankful. And my client's getting the house that they wanted at an even cheaper price because of what I've done. So it's a win-win. So this is what I loved doing. And it wasn't happening anymore. The agents, we lost a lot of our really top agents during COVID. And I found that what I was getting, the transactions, the business, it was just a mess. And I felt bad for people, and I didn't want to have to feel bad for people. I wanted to know that they got the best that they could get. And that's what we're doing.
Yeah. And along the same line, the reason why this idea spawned out of my mind was because of the fact that I ran into some of the agents where they did not take the time to do things thoroughly. And it was more of just like mop up and put it together, and then not going to the extent of what you just went through for a buyer in finding out that there was a vacant order on the premise for that subject property. I was like, these are things that were kind of lost. And I was like, wait a second. So with my background, with your background, with our years of experience, I mean, combined is over 60 years of experience. Like, man, we could definitely set ourselves apart from everybody else in the industry. And then make a huge difference, because this is the largest purchase of someone's life.
Yes.
And so it is super important that you have the right people to help you, guide you through this process.
And on that note, that's what I was, what we were saying about the education. I'd like this to be our first get to meet us. I would love if we see the interest to educate. I mean, we're both educators at heart. The day I met Amaury was after a closing, funny enough, years back. And I went to congratulate him. And I said, I want to congratulate you because we just started with the FHA product again. The market we had a terrible drop. It was right after the market was coming back up. And I said, you could have taken points. You could have taken a ride. Everybody else did it. And he's like, why would I? And I was like, I really like you as a human being. And he said, do you like to speak? And I said, I can't shut up. He says, I'm doing a seminar at the library tonight. Would you like to join me? And that's how we did it. And we realized then that, our hearts, our calling was in the same place. We work for the people. The client's best interest is always paramount. And, I could recommend to him blindly as he could do to me. And, that's impossible to find in our industry. We don't work for the dollar. We work for what we do. And then the dollar just comes in, thank God, right? So on that note, we'd love to educate. And if we could find out things like he was saying, getting your team ready and things, we would love to do podcast series where we break down the transaction and the process for you so that, you know, you are fully aware of how everything should go. And then
Yes.
you'd never shut either one of us up.
No, I think it's so important because there's so much information out there, and I think people sometimes get stuck in making a decision because they don't know which direction to go.
Yes. Yeah.
So if we're able to help facilitate things.
Yes.
I think that's a win in itself, and again, we do not lose sight of the fact that you could choose anyone to work with, and the fact that you choose us, we do not take it lightly, and that's why we go above and beyond. And to that point, I want to bring you to a transaction that we did. And it was a transaction in Brooklyn a couple of years back. And it was a brownstone, needed work, but still a brownstone in Brooklyn. So you could imagine the interest in this property. And so, again, I would like to use the word characters that we sometimes run into. And there was an offer made on this property. And with this offer, there's the person said, by the way, if you take my offer, what?
100,000 under the table for you.
100,000 under the table for you. That was the offer. So I'll just tell you, we of course naturally declined. I would love to say that everybody else would do the same, but unfortunately that's not the case, and that's very unfortunate. But here's what I will say. We declined the offer, and on top of that, we're able to get the client another 550,000 on top of what that offer was. That's why we say our client's interest is always first.
To elaborate, brownstone, the only thing that was of any use in that house was the actual railings on the stairs, which
The banister was
the
beautiful. I
banister
love
was
it.
beautiful,
Yeah,
right?
great.
Everything else, sadly, was already destroyed. Water had gotten into the brownstone. So when we listed it in sight of everything that needed to get done and everything else that was on the market. However, there was a particular interest for this one brownstone, and we got very lucky that there were people that were offering way above. And this individual, when he made the offer, it's not as if he was lowballing it, which is where it becomes tantalizing for the wrong individual, because the offer would have been an acceptable offer to the seller, except that he ruined it by saying, will you take money? And at that point, we both realized, you know what? It doesn't matter how long we take to sell this property. There will be someone that's going to see the same interest in this property that's going to want it. And it took only 3 days. So God help, right?
Yeah.
2.2.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, it needed quite a bit of work. So, but think about that. So it's things like that we there are times, because listen, and I know the image out there about realtors is, oh, they probably work 2 or 3 days a day. They're always doing other things. They're at the beach, or things along that line. And that's a great job to have. The reality is we're working 10, 12-hour days, and we put a lot of time into it. And so that's where we run into the situation that we run into. And that's not the only story that we have. There's others, but we're not going to get into those. But just to share about who we are as individuals and as a company, I think that's important. What has surprised, I know I'm throwing you a curveball right now. What has surprised you so far about this journey that we're on?
The need that there was for something like us. As a real estate attorney, we don't want to snuff other parts of the transaction or other professionals within the transaction. But, I didn't realize the true importance that a agent plays in a transaction. They are the first initial contact. So when I would get the deal, I'm like, oh, I'm going to put it together and we're going to do. And not that I thought myself any better than anybody else. Clearly not. But I felt that no matter what came in, we would be able to manage it and work it. I did not realize till I came on the ground how much of an impact I have, how much control I have to make an individual believe one thing over another. Because there is a trust component, and we tend to trust individuals that come to our door or approach us or are recommended. And I never realized how ill-informed so many people are as to how it is that you actually decide on a price, how it is that you actually decide on an agent. Because it's like, people think, oh, how difficult it is. You open the door, you let somebody in, they sell the house, it's over. They're like, anybody could do this. So they don't screen their agents. They think the only question is, what price do you think it is and how many points how much do I have to pay you? What's the commission? But really, that's not what this is about. This is, how would you market my property? How much experience do you have in my particular neighborhood? How is it, when we go through the house, we'll point out the things that need to be fixed, that, things that you should work on now, things that, hey, look, don't bother doing them. They're not going to give you the return we need at this moment.
Right.
These are the things that make a difference. How is the person when they relate to other individuals? Are they personable? Is it somebody that is going to be able to sell your home? These are things that I realize people don't even take into account. And when we go in, we were like, this is what you're going to want to see. This. Now, whether it be us or not is irrelevant, but I need you to make sure you pick the right person. Just like I used to say when, I was an attorney, this is the biggest transaction you will do. And if you're not comfortable, it's going to be the horrible 90 days. But if you're comfortable, you've picked it right, we've done the team perfectly, This is a blessing.
Yep.
And so what I was so surprised is that people really didn't have anyone out there that was actually setting themselves out. When I walk into a home, and that's happened to both of us, people don't have a clue really how to screen us, and we want to educate. We want to get that done so that if it's us, amen. And if it's not, at least we know that people are on the right course.
Absolutely. I think that's,
clean up the industry. Sorry.
One house at a time. But that's, again, there's the calling aspect, right? Because we run into so many different situations in our prior careers where we're like, man, I would have handled that differently. And like you said, making sure that now we're at the beginning of the transaction and now we're able to guide the client the right way and not be reactive, which is what I found a lot of transactions were that way. And it's like, no, let's be proactive. Let's know everything up front.
Yes.
So then we know how to deal with it. And it's going to make things that much smoother. So that's absolutely
There's no surprises.
There's
I found out at closing. Nobody finds out at closing. They told me this and they promised me that and I got this. Doesn't exist. I got to tell you, as far as the numbers are concerned, never a problem. He pre-qualifies everybody that comes through the door and then he comps it and then we argue because of my personality. I'm like, are you sure? He's like, Carol. And then can you walk me through it, please? Because he's the numbers man. And I got to tell you, he is on point, which is, it's impressive. So I got to say, I think the combination was unbelievably perfect because we both excelled at what we did. So now together, we're a force to reckon with because he's on point with all my numbers and I can pick up a house. I can tell you what its problem is and what the problem will be.
So, all right, so now we're talking about problems. Let's bring it out. Okay. Let me I'm going to ask you first and then you could ask me. Okay.
That's cheating. Oh, well, it depends what it is. What?
So now that we're working together, we've been working together quite a bit, right? I mean, we're talking about, we're on the phone. I'm not kidding. Probably 8 to 10 times a day.
Yeah.
And probably 10 o'clock at night.
Much longer than he'd like to be because he says, Carol, I've been on the phone with you for an hour now. What more do you have?
Yes.
I'm like, Amaury, we got to get it all done now.
Yeah. So, and this is why I'm sitting next to my wife, right? Like we're having this conversation.
I could hear her whispering in the ear and I feel horrible.
But what's the one thing that now that we work together that you don't like about me? Let's put it out there.
Well, no, because I mean, I don't like it because it bothers me that I have to say you're right. The one thing I don't like.
Let me write this down.
That's why I said I never want to say this again. But he is right. I have never, ever taken a number from him and not questioned him, tortured him to explain it out to me, comp out everything, show me everything for about 30 to 45 minutes till I'm satisfied, but he's never wrong. ever. And
That's what you don't like?
I don't like that because I don't like being wrong. So I'm really working, guys, on learning to
I
be
got
just
it.
as perfect as he is with numbers. You're all, the other thing would be that, like me, we're squirrels. And we could be working on a task that's got to get done, and somebody will call and say, "Hey, I can't pick up my child today. Can you go to the school and go get my kid?" And off him out he goes. He's gone. During COVID, everybody had toilet paper. I think that he stocked the whole neighborhood.
God.
I mean, he would come to my house. I'm 20 minutes away. That's his personality. So I think that with you, and I think that you had mentioned that of me too. It's the fact that we overextend ourselves.
Yes.
And I find myself sometimes like a wife chasing you for give me 10 minutes right now because you're busy helping so and so do this, or carrying things over because they're doing the closing today over here, or so you're it's a wonderful trait.
No.
But I'm glad I'm not married to you.
So's my wife.
You got no choice now.
All right, so you want me to share it? What
I don't know. Do I want to know?
I don't know if you want to know.
I know. Let me see what I want to know.
So
We can always edit
here's
it.
the one thing I don't like, and it kind of was mentioned a little while ago. She shared it with you guys. Is I think because of who you are, you have this motor that is always on.
Yeah.
Always on. And that's why the work balance is where I think because Carol will be writing emails at 11:30 at night.
Yeah.
And that's the thing where I don't like that for you.
I know.
Because of the fact that I think you need to be able to know that this could wait till tomorrow. And I don't want you to listen. I know you love what you do. We love what we do.
Right.
But it can't be all that we do, and that's the part that I think.
I know. I do. And I when I left law, I thought this was going to give me a little bit more time. And like you just said, brokers only work a little bit. Look, I got to be honest with you. I thought the same thing.
Well, today's not bad.
But but I work. Like I actually work. Like it's
Yeah.
midnight and I'm still writing emails and looking at
But
violations.
it's different though, isn't it? Because now it's the love for the work.
Oh, but now it's so different.
Yeah.
Because now I am in total control to fix everything, manage it, put it together, and
Yes.
then send it
Yes.
out. So it's rewarding.
Yes.
It's very gratifying. So I
Yes.
do, and I enjoy it. But I thought I'd be less hours, but no, I'm still trekking to.
I think that's just part of your DNA.
I think so.
So here on the flip side, pick one thing that you really like about what you do now.
Making a difference, helping people, knowing that every individual that I touch or come across has been put on a right path. Now, whether it be with us or not, I know that I did my part in educating them to the point where they would be okay. And my goal is if we can touch everyone we meet, which is really the only goal I have every day. Like, how do I make somebody's life better today?
I like that. It's kind of hard to top that. I mean, for me, believe it or not, it's a little bit more on a personal level where even though yours is definitely, you're making a tremendous impact. And I'll say this, the impact is not only to them, but it extends. If you think about in a real estate transaction, it's not only affecting them, it is affecting now their kids, their generation. It's very impactful, has a rippling effect. For me, believe it or not, it's the interaction with people. I've worked in different organizations, institutions, whatever you want to call it, and there's certain regulations in place where not allowed to do this and not allowed to do that. And I'll just share, like, for example.
Now he gets his hair loose.
Now, this is where now I'm able to listen. A number of times I felt like I wanted to pray with the homeowner
that's awesome,
right there and then. And the fact that I can and not have to worry that I can't, having that, being able to do that for me is amazing. My faith is everything. So that's huge for me. And then the other aspect is just the interaction, like with people and seeing them, even after we close, like, as corny as it sounds, the relationship really starts at the closing table,
Yeah.
right? It's because now it's where we're in each other's lives now forever, or as long as you allow us to be, really.
Yeah.
And then it's just having that type of running into you every now and then. Um, like right now, it's the fall, and dropping off little gifts to
Yeah.
all our clients and things like that.
That's one thing about you. He remembers every season, and you will have something on your doorstep for every season.
That's
And
a lot of
goes for
pressure. That's not true.
That is true. It's for family and friends. Absolutely. I think there's not.
A lot of pressure.
I always get a
I
pumpkin.
don't know what to do for the spring and summer.
Oh, we gave seeds last year.
Oh, that's right.
See, you do know. You do know.
forgot.
And his handwriting is sensational. So yeah, and then on that note, what he's saying is so very true. We have people that we have met in our journey that has nothing to do with real estate at this point, because at the time they weren't ready, or this wasn't what they were doing. And I almost felt like I didn't want to walk into their house. And the woman looks at me and she says, "Aren't you a broker?" And I said, "Yeah." She says, "You should be dying to run in." I said, "You told me you remember?" I almost, because our conversation was so different. It was about prayer. It was about her having a problem with her life. And we've become friends. We text each other. Her kids have children, and she'll send me as if I were I am family. But this was from a door knocking,
Right.
and it's people like that we've met that we've now call friends and family. And so that's super rewarding.
It's so funny because it just comes the reason why I'm smiling. So there's times where I'm like, "All right, Carol, let's knock on some doors," and Carol being Carol, do we really have to?
Sorry, guys, I hate this.
Right.
Okay, you wouldn't believe it, but I am shy.
Right. But anyway, so it was just like those things. But I do believe that things happen for a reason, and the people
Yes.
that we come into contact with, amazing individuals, and it's
We stay in touch.
yeah.
On it, like
great.
it really, like looking back at it, it's like, wow, yeah, it's awesome,
I know.
right?
It is. So again, thank you everyone for just entrusting in us and the opportunity to serve, and thank you, Carol, for saying I'm in
Yay!
and doing this.
I appreciate
It's been great.
No, I appreciate you.
And at this point, get ready. We're going to start that series. I don't know. You want to
Yeah.
add something to that?
Yeah, and on that point, I would love for all of you viewing, if you would put in comments, what is it you want to know? We've both done seminars for 30 years.
Yeah.
We're very, very versed on all aspects of a transaction.
And bilingual. Just
And
like
by
the
yeah, well, no empecemos ahora, entonces.
No.
So just joking. But anyways, so if you would please put in the comments things that you want to know about, we'll do these podcasts and we'll do segments, so they could be of service for you. We look forward to that. I
Yeah.
mean, I think it would be fun,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And so the next podcast we're going to talk about, we haven't chosen which topic, but whatever it is, I guarantee you it's going to be extensive, so that you're able to be equipped in whatever stage you are as either a home buyer or a homeowner, in going forward. So we do want feedback. Email us questions or topics you want us to go over, and we'll make sure we do that.
And I just want to say one more thing. Doesn't have to necessarily be first-time home buyers,
No.
investors,
Yes.
Individuals that already have other homes. I mean, they become a little bit more complicated. How do you structure the transaction? 75% of rental income, all of this stuff. We are fully prepared to be able to help anyone at any stage that they may be in the process.
Absolutely. And to that point, it's whether you're, like you said, not only first-time home buyers, you want to upsize, right? You want to get into a bigger home, family's growing, you want a different commute to work, whatever it may be, or you're at that stage in your life where less is more, and
Right.
now you want to downsize. We have tremendous professionals, trusted professionals that we could recommend to help you with whatever decision making you need to make for you and your family. And that's the one thing I would say that is amazing to have these individuals, these professionals that we could say, okay, we have someone that can help you with that. We have someone that can help you with this. Whatever it is, I'm going to say we know that person that will be a perfect fit for you.
And if you liked us, they're like us.
Yes.
They care.
Yes.
And that's the key.
100%. Thank you so much for being with us, and we look forward to the next one.
Take care. Bye.